I found that most of the battles we fight in life is not as a result of whom we have been, but as a result of whom we might become in the future. My name is Bolaji Lola Adebiyi, and I'm here to tell my miraculous journey story. Here are some of the reasons why I'm doing this. Number one, I found that God specializes in things that are impossible with men. Because in my own case, God actually waited until all human and medical efforts were exhausted before He stepped in. Another reason why I'm doing this is that while I was on that bed, in that indescribable pain, I said to God and again and again that if He would heal me, I will tell the whole world what He did for me. And the last reason why I'm doing this is that I hope my story will encourage someone. And I hope that it will give someone out there hope and courage, someone who is going through a similar situation. It all started a few years ago while I traveled out of the country and I went to Germany. By the time I came back with this heavy cough and chest infection. Then I went to my GP on my return, and my GP gave me medications to treat the infection and the cough. But after, he gave me the treatment for like 3 times, and each time, by the time I complete the dose, in the next 2-3 weeks, the cough will come back again, and it was getting worse. And so he said, you know what, just go to the hospital. So I went straight to the hospital. I was admitted, but it's the same story. I was treated with antibiotics and all that. And in the course of all that, I got weaker. My immune system had dropped significantly. And during that time, a friend was getting married, and I had to be there. So I had gone to my friend's wedding, and after they had exchanged, thank God they just exchanged their rings, I just fell down and I had a stroke. What I remembered was my daughter was beside me in the church, and I heard her just saying, "Mommy, get up, you're falling. But I knew I was falling, but I had no control over what was happening to my body. So I later woke up in the hospital, and I was seen by the professors there, and they said I had a stroke. I'm like, a stroke? I mean, I work in the medical profession myself, and I understood the meaning of stroke. I didn't realize that things were so bad with me like that. I didn't know, a simple cough, chest infection can lead to stroke. I was, so with that, I was into myself. I was depressed. The first 6 months I was in the hospital, I was only learning to walk, to talk, to recognize people and things. At that stage, if you ask me a question, it could take me 2 minutes to respond to your answer because I had to process it. I was learning to do things all over again, even to eat, to take my shower. I couldn't do all that. I had to get help with the nurses to do all that. So with all those complications going on in my body, they found that with many tests and all that, they found that my heart function was about 15%, which was very, very low. So they knew I needed a new heart at that stage. But with all other complications going on in my body, the kidney, the lungs, all suffering because I was on constant medication, the chance of a heart transplant was not even possible. So reluctantly, at the 6 months in the hospital while I was receiving treatment for stroke, I begged the professors that, please, I just want to go home for Christmas. So they reluctantly allowed me to come home for Christmas. And while I was home for Christmas, I was having another stroke, another attack. I was rushed to another hospital, and I was in ICU for several days because I wasn't making enough urine. My kidneys were suffering. They thought I needed, a new kidney. I needed a new heart. But with the treatment and with prayers of my brethren, brothers and sisters all over the world, my church, my pastor, my husband, and my children, my family and friends all over the world, God showed up, and miraculously I started making urine again. And at that stage, they managed to get me a bed in a specialist hospital where I would have the chance of a heart transplant. So that same week, when they said that might be my last day, that same week, 3 days later, God gave me that miracle heart. I got it after the 4th call. That was the 4th time that I would be say, oh look, we think there's a heart, and by the time it's ready, they'll say no, it's not a match. So it has to be a match. So I had to pray to God to give me a match, with the one with 100% compatibility with me. So I was taken to the theater, and I had the surgery, the transplant done. It was done all night, and it was a successful one. I still spent some more weeks in the hospital, just to get healing and to familiarize myself with my new medications. But everything went very, very well. And the things that I've learned in this journey is that God is above doctors. Even the doctors and the nurses are amazed at my recovery. And the fact that, I constantly told them that I believed in miracles, I never gave up at any point in time. So they constantly rejoiced with me. I remember the professor telling me that there was a man above watching over me. They knew it was a miracle. So a lot of them say, oh, we've never seen something like this before. It's like somebody dead now coming back to life. When all hope were lost. When medication has failed, God it still showed up and showed off in my case. It's not by power, it's not by might, it's by His Holy Spirit. You can't pay back the enemy. The only way to do it is for you to daily share your testimony. And I made that decision that if God healed me, I was going to share my testimony anyway. So in order for me to do that, I've progressed on to write a book. And this is the book. The title of the book is Rescued from the Jaws of Death. I wrote this book as a testimony of all the miracles that God did for me. The journey, how it all started, and how it all ended. This is my story. My name is Bolaji Lola Adebi. Thank you.